You guys know I mainly sleep face down, but I always record as if I'm just like doing one of those. Yeah, I usually sleep face down. Alright, let's do this vlog. What's up? I need to do a lot of errands today. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to do some other stuff on campus. So while I can't record a lot of that, I do want to record some hustle and bustle and walking around and stuff and some nice B-roll shots. So enjoy that part of the vlog today. I am going to be talking about how you can study for your final exams and how to ace your final exams, because believe it or not, in a few weeks, a lot of you will be right in the thick of it, and I would like to get that video out to you and help you guys do better on your finals by preparing you rather than giving you the video while you're in the middle of it, because that would kind of defeat the purpose, because you're supposed to prepare. I'm gonna tell you how in the video and it'll make a lot more sense then. So yeah. That time of year. It's finals week-ish. You get a few more weeks before it's going to happen, but it's going to come up on you guys quickly. So I just want to start this video off by asking you guys what your majors are, what you are trying to study if you're an undergraduate, or if you're in high school, or before that if you have finals. Good Lord, I hope you don't have finals before high school. I want you guys to tell us what you're studying, how it's going, and what different things you want to learn about. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to tell you guys how to study better for your finals and how to prepare for them and ace any final exam that you're going to have. That being said, the first thing is preparation, and that's why this video is coming out so early. One of the first things I can say is that finals week is going to be crazy. You're going to be busy. So what I mean by getting ahead and planning is you really need to make sure that whatever crazy things that can or will come up in your life, you leave some extra space for those things. And that's kind of going to be the theme of the majority of these finals tips. There's going to be a lot of different ways that you can get ahead on things, different ways that you can make sure that you're studying properly beforehand so that you don't get too jam-packed with things on the week of finals week. I guess my first tip overall is that you try to make it as much like any other week of the school year. Now I know that sounds difficult. I know that there's a sort of way that school tends to have a lot of exams one week and then not much later, and then keeping this trend going. But if you properly put yourself in a place where you can get your studies together and get yourself on a consistent basis in a lot of ways for the majors that aren't insanely difficult. I know that a lot of you med students and a lot of undergraduate pre-med students are studying really hard, as well as some other programs that I'm failing to mention. If you stay on a really consistent basis with other programs though, when those the ones that are not nearly as difficult, you are going to be totally okay when finals week comes around, and it honestly will be a breeze. So that is my first tip. Make sure you get into a consistent studying schedule where you're doing stuff every single day towards learning whatever material it is, and that way you will always be on top of your game rather than taking multiple days off throughout the week, kind of being in this less consistent approach. And when a big week comes up, you will be less prepared than those who are working on things consistently. So a nice and quick way that you can get ahead and be ready for finals week is to focus on the things that aren't the exams. So a lot of people who are like me, who had marketing majors or other different programs that had a lot of group projects, a lot of different undergraduate business programs are like this. If you do the projects and you do the assignments and the papers even before finals week comes around, finals week won't be that bad. The exams are what's going to really make you feel stressed. You have to go into that environment, you have to perform at a specific time and place. If you get the assignments done beforehand, you're going to ease yourself up and ease your mental clarity a little bit so that you can have more brain energy to focus on the exams, the task that needs to be done in a specific place and time. If you get the assignment done early that you can, say for example, I always used to have about 2 out of my 5 or 3 out of my 5 classes towards the end be a group project rather than an exam. And what would that do for me? Well, if I did the project early, I'd be happy that finals week was pretty late. If I did it later and I did it around finals week or even on finals week, I was honestly finding studying for the test to be a difficult task. You're going to have group meetings that are going to come up. You're going to have different things that will get in the way. So make sure you get those group projects and individual projects and papers out of the way before finals week to free up your brain and headspace, as well as just your time for you to be able to study on those actual final exams. Start studying for your exams earlier. Start studying for your exams earlier. Don't fall into the habit of studying just that finals week. I would recommend studying for finals if you can about 2 weeks beforehand. And what I mean by that is get a grasp on the material that you were taught a few weeks ago. So say you are taught something 3 weeks before a final exam. Really study and focus on that lecture the week it comes out, that reading the week it comes out, and the next week focus on that lecture as well. And you're gonna have a few weeks in the bank of knowledge going into that final exam week beforehand so that you don't just cram and do all of your memorization and all of your important remembering of different specific things that you need to for the exam right beforehand. Because if you cram, it's been shown that you actually are probably going to do worse than if you had long-term knowledge on the subject. As well as one other thing I want to point out about actual cramming, like cramming the hour before the exam. It has been shown that if you try to cram the last 20 minutes before an exam, you're probably going to do worse on it than if you just sat there and relaxed and tried to meditate on what you already know. Doing a lot of cramming in general is not good. You're not going to retain things as well, but I would recommend that you start studying beforehand, start studying about 3 weeks out from your final on the different things that are already out. And if you have more information that comes, go along with it as the new lectures come out leading up to the final. And you can study a lot the day before, hours before, but do not do it the last hour, the last 30 minutes. You are going to actually probably remember less than if you had just prepared better beforehand. My last 2 tips regarding studying before your finals would actually be to make practice exams or flashcards. And I know a lot of people are going to say to themselves, okay, well, it's not that new or groundbreaking, but I will say this. When it comes to making practice exams or doing flashcards, a lot of people cheat themselves. A lot of people will go and try to look at the answer before they answer the question a lot of the times, and I would just recommend that you actually follow through on things. Don't do yourself a disservice and not follow through on actually having the answers hidden. A lot of things that you can do are actually in Notion. I have a couple study templates that I have. I will put my little study template in the description, as well as the basic one that you can make a test out of, and a little template where you can just kind of press the toggle button and it will hide the answers or the questions, and you can kind of go back and forth between, okay, this is the answer to what question, this is the question of what answer, and you can go back and forth and memorize things, especially if your professor gives you any sort of prompts, gives you any sort of leeway regarding letting you know what's going to be on the exam. Remembering those things are going to be much easier if you actually just test yourself on it beforehand. And lastly, I will just say that you gotta not burn yourself out beforehand. If you burn yourself out beforehand, you're going to be mentally stressed, you're not gonna perform as well. People who are burnt out will do much worse on anything. They'll do bad on physical activity, they'll do bad on mental activity, and this is a mental activity that you are going to need to be fresh for. So make sure that you do all the things that I mentioned before in this video, get through the couple weeks beforehand so that you can be prepared. If you are going to be really stressed during finals week, it's going to make it a little bit harder on your performance. If you get a lot of sleep during finals week, you're just gonna find yourself doing much better. So don't do that thing where you cram all of your studies in at once. Make sure you get the right kind of preparation in and you'll be good to go. Good luck on whatever it is you're going to take during your final exams, and I will see you guys in the next one.